Hoover 427 that I bought from a house with some other Electrolux vacuum cleaners. Well, for a machine that I found being used as a garage vacuum, had been for some time, it's come up remarkably well. Let's have a look, see how well this very original, very clean machine came out and test how well it works. Yes, hello, my vacuum cleaner and Hoover chums. How are you today? Yes, this machine is in excellent order. So are, thankfully, the tools. I mean, as you know, I only really got these with it. So this hose came up very nicely indeed. It got a good soak in the bath for a couple of hours to get all of the grot out of it, and there's literally a little split there, which is more of a cut than a split, which I have glued. It's all come up really rather nicely. The end isn't chewed up and nasty, so yeah, we can fit our tools onto it with no issues at all. Yeah, the only tools that we have are quintessential Hoover dusting brush and very quintessential Hoover crevice tool. So that's fine. That's cool. I then found two wands because I want to sell this machine. It's not a machine I want to keep. It wants to go to somebody who hasn't got a 427 and would like one. So we have two wands. They're fine. I don't think they're a complete match because the finish differs, but these are getting quite hard to find as well nowadays in 2025. So hey, you have to take what you can take. And then we can move on to the machine itself, and I will pick up its original flex. This is an original Hoover flex, probably the original to the machine. And we have a very nice VT plug. I think it's a Volex. I think it's just a rebrand of a Volex, but very nice plug indeed. Polished to pins. It's all pretty immaculate, as is the machine. I mean, it has one Hoover rounder on there, and then just the paintwork is amazing. Barely a mark on it. That is about the only real thing that is on the machine. It's a bit of a shame that the front wheel is missing, although the actual mount point's there, and the front wheel's a bit pointless anyway because it does move around on its skid. So there we go. When I used the blue 427, it had its wheel, which was barely hanging on in there and falling off, and it didn't really use it at all. So yeah, everything is just really clean. It's a poverty spec model, so you only get one roundel on one side, and it is a fair bit sun faded, which is a giant shame. The cable exit grommet managed to glue back up, so that's quite nice. And that's it really. It's such a simple little machine, but there isn't too much to really take you through. We can just plug it in, pop a hose on it, and see how lovely it sounds. It's making a whole screechy sound, yeah. Mint. The motor is as new. It's fantastically clean in there. The bearing has just had a grease. Even the fan has the Hoover roundel stamped on it. So it's pretty much ready to go. If we look inside of here, we can see that I have already done the mod. So that is the inside of the beast. Oh, there you go. Look, no rust. No dirt, no crust. It's all very nice indeed. And then we'll fit the washed inner bag, but we're not going to use that because what I have here is 38mm waste pipe coupler, pushes straight into the front of this. Then I cut down the plastic because it just makes it a flip load easier to put all in here. But once you do that, you then have a fully HEPA flowed vacuum. We're going to open out, look, we can open out the surface clip. There we go. Ideally it probably wants a slightly smaller bag, but you know, if it fits, it sits. Once you shove it home, it's done, and that's all I care about. So we have ourselves a working vacuum cleaner. If we do the time-honoured task of taking a pneumatic end cuff and banging it onto, in this case, a Henry Cordless floor head, we can indeed play at vacuuming some carpet. Oh yes, oodles of airflow. I think it's got a bit more than the Bogey blue one that I used the other month. 12 vacuums in 12 months. Oh, I mean obviously the Henry Cordless floor head does help a lot there. But that's pretty nice. That's got a lot of airflow. How much airflow? Well, using our self-contained data set, we could probably have a stab at guessing. If I hold my hand over there. Ooh. Hang on. I think that was a 40, but there we go. Oh yes, 45. No, 42. I think it goes up in twos once it gets past the hole. So 42 inches or kilopascals as I'm measuring it. No, it is inches. Yeah, inches of water. Trying to figure out which is the outside and the inside. I wonder how many miles of hour of air power it has. Well, by the magic of our lovely air wind speed thing and my pot noodle pot of measurements, I should be able to hold this. Oh my god, that's too much. Oh, 13, 14 miles an hour, 14.3. I'm going to say 14. Hey, that's not bad, is it? Did you get there? Oh, there's so much airflow now, it's doing what the cheap Chinese vacuums do and making a horrible screechy sound through the wand. We don't want to pick that up. But yeah, 14 miles an hour of wind speed, 42 inches of water lift. That is not bad for a machine that was cheap and nasty even when it was new and built on ancient technology, because it is just a Hoover Constellation motor in a different shell. But it's very rare to see one quite so nice as this. So I'm glad I saved it. I'm glad we picked it up out of the garage and it's all been cleaned out. It's no longer full of reviews on Bloke's car, rebuilding Triumphs. So it was quite disgusting. But now, now I think that is a nice little Hoover 427 for somebody to have to their collection, you know, who may already have the admittedly quite nasty floor head that these should have, or they've got a Constellation that they can use the Constellation head on. Either way, I think we've done a save. So do you have a Hoover 427 or one of this shape? Because they did do older ones of this. This is probably quite a late one. I think it's 1980. Oh, where are we? 0427. Yeah, I reckon that is October 1982, which probably makes sense. And it's probably when these pretty much stopped getting made. They were just stamped out and sold until there were none left. And yeah, this one is a survivor. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. And I, and some other hapless Hoover in need of a new home, will see you soon. Bye bye.